Oh, why, hey everybody, it's me, Super Paul Games. I just got laid in my fatty veg. Last time we did the sex and nasty with Dr. James Demon Love. And now we slept and we were sleeping right after. I had love and I had my happiness. My life was simply perfect. And I just fucked a demon. When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring into James' bare chest. Like a forest bear? I wish it was spelled like a forest bear. I blushed, but looked up to see James still sleeping. His sleeping face made me giggle softly. Ha ha. But the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. I couldn't believe it. I was lying next to a man I had grown to love with all of my heart. It only took a day or two. His warm embrace made me feel safe, and as the tender moment we just shared replayed in my head, I couldn't help but smile and snuggle to his chest further. Unconsciously, he held me tighter to his body, giving me more of his warmth. Man, that's just like a woman. You get in bed, and they're all cold, and you're all nice and warm, and then they lean up on you, and you're like, you're taking my heat, cold feet. I didn't want to move, but then my core suddenly tightened and made me sit up without waking the man next to me. I felt my legs move and bring me to the balcony window, where I opened the glass and stepped out onto the patio. Diana? What are you doing out here? I stared wide-eyed at Diana, who sat cross-legged on the railing on my balcony with a glowing red eye stared upon me. With glowing red-eyed stare upon me. I made it sound like she was a cyclops. She might be. I've only ever seen one of her eyes. I opened my mouth to object, but Diana stopped me.
Before you get all huffy, I didn't come here to take your precious man away.
Huffy? What do bikes have to do with it?
By the way, how was it exactly? Demons are the best lovers, after all.
He was all that. His boner is huge. You don't even know. He's like the best. I'm glad. Like, what do you want, Diana?
Well, I just wanted to see how you truly feel. You know, without him around to influence you.
What are you talking about? That's the noise I made when I was deep-throating him. You couldn't do that.
I'm giving you an opportunity to come clean about these feelings of yours, and to give you your salvation.
What was Diana up to? This was beyond crazy. Nothing she had done made any sense. Why was I still alive at this rate? What's keeping me from killing... Wait, what? Wait, give me a minute. What's keeping you from just killing me and taking them?
You are not worth my time.
Not worth your time? What, are you afraid something might happen? All at once, I felt my body being lifted into the air and moved over past the railings, leaving me with nothing but the ground below to threaten me with a collision death.
Oh, trust me, dear. I'm not afraid to kill you. I can drop you right now and leave your body to rot until the morning, when the boys would find you.
I would rather you didn't, Diana. I wanted to speak, but the thought of her letting go and letting me fall to my death scared my voice into silence. Diana then chuckled and willed my body back to the balcony, setting me down gently.
Alas, if I kill you, then the boys would never come with me willingly back to the demon world, and then I'd have to chase them all around the world, or kill them and drag them back. But then their father wouldn't be happy, and blah, blah, blah. Too much work.
Diana seemed very business-oriented, as if the boys were cargo more than men. It irked me, but then she smiled. You can take, Sam with you and Eric as far as I'm concerned.
I'm giving you one chance to denounce your love for the demon in your bed, and let me take him and the other boys back to the demon world.
And why, may I ask, would I do that? He's my boyfriend. I'm not giving him up like that.
There are so many reasons why, actually. There's the reason that he's a demon and you're a human, so you two can never truly have a happily ever after. Then there's the reason that demons truly do not know how to love, despite what he may proclaim. The list goes on and on.
Believe it or not, Diana, humans don't tend to be very good at love either. It's like a 50-50 shot with humans, so I think we got a pretty good thing. And he said you don't know how to love, so he must know how to love my vagina.
The point is, if you give me the boys, I will promise you eternal happiness.
What? Eternal happiness?
That's right. I have the power to give you anything you desire. Power, men, women, money, fame. Name it, and it's yours. A demon never goes back on their word, and I have the power to obtain anything you wish. Our deal is our contract.
There's no way I'm going to be able to do it in the game, but you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. I want to be like, I would like to say yes. Anything I desire, I would like to keep the boys. Screw you, Diana. I could only stare in shock. This was a dream. It had to be. However, Diana smiled, an almost genuine smile at me, shaking me to the reality of the situation. She would never smile like that.
Don't you wish to be free of your destiny? Your father constantly berating you to become the next CEO of your grandfather's company.
But I like Grandpa's toy company. How did you like, what? I was almost floored in surprise. How did Diana know all of this? She was a succubus, yeah, but how could she know anything besides sexual desire? She wasn't Damien. Diana chuckled and leaned back against her arms.
Just because I play with hearts and sex doesn't mean I don't know my way around the human mind. You happen to be an open book of information, but I digress.
Does that mean you knew I was thinking about your boobs?
I can give you your freedom with ease. It'll be like you were always meant to have it. All I ask is that you hand over the boys. What do you say?
Was I seriously being given this choice? The man I love, for anything I wanted? A demon like Diana was powerful enough, yes, but did I even want to consider giving up the man I loved? We did not work this hard to score us a demon husband. Well, I guess he's not her husband. A demon boyfriend? No. And we got a nice house already. And we probably got a cush job, so no. You can't have the boys, Diana. She must have been crazier than I thought. I glared. Absolutely not. Diana sighed and stood up onto the railing. What I wasn't expecting was her lifting me into the air. I tried to scream, but my voice suddenly became locked in silence. What was Diana doing? Diana made me float over to her, and she smirked as we touched noses.
Well, if I can't return home with the boys, I might as well return home with the power to fight back.
Diana finally leaned in and kissed me. I shut my eyes, feeling the need to bite her lips. No, we can't kiss. I just have a boyfriend, I think now. Feeling the need to bite her lips, but finding no muscles in my face listening to my mental commands. What did she do to me? I didn't want to enjoy it, but every single nerve in my body was flaring in excitement and pleasure as she kissed me. I felt my energy drain slowly but forcefully from my body. Was she using her magic to force energy out of my body? It seemed like forever, but finally Diana pulled away from the kiss with a smile and a lick of her lips. She lowered me back out of the patio and chuckled. For some reason, even though nothing seemed to have changed, she looked stronger, powerful. It was almost like looking at a new Diana. Diana then stepped back off the railing, making me catch my breath in my throat. As she took another step away from me, she looked to be simply walking on the night air. Diana smirked at my sudden surprise.
May you never regret your choice, human. If you do, I'll happily come and take it away.
Home wrecker. With a flick of her hair, Diana turned and walked away into the night, fading into the darkness like a shadow. I watched... Sorry about that. I watched her fade away before looking back to the man in my bed. Did I make the right choice? My heart gave a gentle thump, giving me my answer. I did, and I will never regret it for as long as I live. I walked back inside and gently crawled back into bed with the embrace of the safest arms I knew. I snuggled close to the warmth before closing my eyes. I was happy. The rest of the story can be passed over. With Diana gone, my life returned to normal, with school and my friends not remembering what had happened. It was as if magic never even appeared in my world, except for I got all my boys now. Are they still my servants? One thing was for certain, however, James loved me and I loved him just as much. We'd promised our lives to each other, nothing was going to take that away from us, not even time itself. Our love was so powerful, it practically overwhelmed me with joy. Is she like cry every day? I'm so happy! And James like, oh my god, can you quit not do this today? Overwhelmed me with joy every time I found him holding me close every morning. To think a demon-axe prince in love with a human like me? It was unthinkable, unbelievable. It was practically impossible, but it was true. The other boys decided to leave of their own accord. They knew that my future would only need James at my side. Oh man, I like Cookie Monster. He made good food. So they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. James was heartbroken at first, but understood that he had to let his brothers grow like he did. What, they can't come and visit? Besides, James had someone new to care for. His brothers didn't need him now that he was caring for me. What? That sounds like creepy talk. You don't need your brothers anymore, James, because you got me. I felt bad as well for being closer to James than the others, but they reassured... Well, I'd be a whore otherwise if I was the same level of closeness with all the brothers. But they reassured me that I was okay, and they would remain nearby should I ever need them, and I was happy for that. They made me promise, however, that I would love James for as long as we lived. That promise was instantly given. But what of my future? Well, it was kind of made for me. Before I graduated, James decided to step into the light of Anderson Toys Company, and with the help of his demon powers and leadership charisma, he managed to influence not only the entire board, but my father as well into letting him run for CEO. Wait, I want to be CEO, not my boyfriend. I like how there's a demon in charge of the toy company. What does he know about what human kids want? I was beyond shocked how James managed to do all that was beyond me. But then the vote was called. James had taken over the company I was destined to have. Wait, that means we're his boss, because we're like the biggest owner, right? He vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and help the company become an even grander company. Grander. For a demon, it was simple to make a company grand? How's that? Are demons naturally good at business stuff? My grandfather would have been proud to see how James helped it shine. With the CEO position filled, my father had no choice but to let me decide my future, which made me happy beyond compare. Oh, that's actually, I guess, a win for us, in that we don't have to become a CEO if we don't want to. No longer would I have the future scaring me into the corner. I could choose to live my life on my own. That being said, I was still scared of where the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help James build a company? Did I want to venture off on my own? James reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do, promising that I came first. That's right, boyfriend. I better always come first. Before the company he had come to reign over, I was grateful and would never forget that promise. I was happy, and nothing could shake me from that happiness. One night, a good couple of years after the boys and I had met, I had a moment to myself. So in all those years you didn't have a moment to yourself? So I sat in my room and took in all that had happened as if it was a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic. Remember when we kicked that one dude's ass? Malix or whatever? It all was surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it could have all been a dream. But the warm feeling in my heart reminded me that it was real. The demons, the magic, the love I had, all real. So we can have kids someday and they'll be like, how do I find a man, mommy and daddy? And you'll be like, well, I found one naturally. And they'll be like, that's so stupid. How am I going to find a demon from the demon plains? What are the odds of that? Grandpa hit him with a car. I smiled as I held my hands to my chest, relishing in the feelings, dancing with my soul. So many feels, y'all.
Are you okay?
I looked up from my lap to see James standing at the doorway, cross-armed with a playfully raised eyebrow. I smiled and blushed a bit. Yeah, I'm okay. I was just remembering, how we met and such.
Were you now?
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to change a thing. James smiled and walked over to me, gently shaking, taking my hand and kissing the knuckles sweetly.
Come, I have a surprise for you.
All right. Oh! I came. Oh, is that what you meant? I raised an eyebrow, surprised. What the heck was he plotting? I hope it's food, because I am hungry. James simply chuckled and kissed my fatty, vag forehead.
I promise you'll love it.
I decided to go along. I nodded and stood up. I would think everybody would. You're not going to be like, no, I'm not coming along. Fuck you and your surprise. James gently took my arm under his and led me out of the bedroom. I stared in shock at the path of golden rose petals lining the floor. Why did you spill roses on my floor? So who's going to clean that up? creating a path from my door. James led me down the golden rose path as if this was all a part of his plan. James, like, what is going on? James didn't answer. He continued to lead me down the stairs of the lobby where the path wound into the dining room. I stared in shock as I saw the table set with candles and a large bouquet of golden roses decorating the middle. James, I feel sort of like underdressed, you know?
There's nothing wrong with how you look now. You're beautiful no matter what clothes you are in.
Are you saying my clothes are ugly because they're beautiful? I couldn't help but let a red blush paint my face, making James chuckle once again. He led me to my seat, where I was greeted with a plate of shrimp pesto on the table. James?
Remember what that is?
Of course, that, sir, is a shrimp pesto dish. James laughed and smiled. I smiled back at him, feeling nostalgia run over my heart. Giddy happiness bubbled as I looked up at the man I had loved. You made it when we first met. Oh, the first time we had a meal. When you and your brothers were, like, apologizing for getting bloody in the lobby?
Well, it was more than that we had to apologize for, but that was the gist of it, yes.
How could I forget? What is this all about? James gently bent forward and kissed my forehead sweetly, making me giggle slightly.
You are such a wonderful woman.
Thanks.
I can't believe that I can love someone this much.
What?
You have changed my whole world, and now you have become my everything. I practically get scared waking up every morning in case this is all just a blissful dream.
Oh, James! Before I could speak further, James gently placed his finger on my lips, like, shut the fuck up, bitch! Hushing me before he caressed my cheek. I nuzzled into his hand. What am I, a fucking cat? Almost purring at the feel of the warmth against my cheek.
I love you, and I will never stop loving you. No matter what comes our way, I promise to be there for you as long as time keeps moving. I want to be yours forever.
Oh my god, it's happening, everybody! It's really happening! Oh my god, I'm not gonna be single anymore! I can't wait to tell Suzu and Naomi, and then we can have a bachelorette party and make out. Oh, I can't make out if I'm gonna get married. Before I could realize what was going on, James slowly got down on one knee beside me and took out a small black box. He lifted the top to reveal a beautiful purple ring, a ring with a purple gem crowned with a golden purple embellishments. I stared, my mind instantly freezing in surprise at the sight. I felt my eyes water at the immense feelings bursting inside of my chest.
Will you, Miss Anderson, marry me?
Fatty vag. I was speechless. I felt myself break and start to weep in joy. Was this really happening? Oh my god, oh my god. This had to be a dream. I mentally begged every single deity in the sky to never wake me if that was the case. Oh, Baal, the great sky fire god. Oh, Zeus, lightning god. Thor, god of the hammer. I fought my tears, trying to speak to answer his question. I didn't want to leave him in the dark, and I didn't want to be on the ground for too long. I didn't want him to be on the ground for too long. Yes, I will marry you, James. Oh my god, we're gonna make babies. I stood up crying and jumping in joy as James smiled, the biggest smile I had ever seen on his face, and slid the ring onto my ring finger as it finally ended up its upward journey at the crevice of my finger, because there is no more romantic phrase in the history of proposals than crevice of your finger. James stood up and took me into his arms, kissing me and sealing my words. Or stealing them? Sealing them? It's like, shut up, we're making out now. I had gained the heart of a demon. See, you can read it that way romantically, or I had gained the heart of a demon. No, of a man I loved. I vowed to cherish him and love him for the remainder of my days and beyond. Could a demon love a human forever? I knew James would. And that was my happily ever after. Oh, let's make out now, James. And James' proposal. That's the true ending. That's what the T is. T that rhymes with D, so put the D in me. We're gonna get married. I don't know what the password Demon War has to do with anything but sweet. And everybody, that was Seduce Me by Michaela Laws. That was really fun. Yeah. It was longer than I expected it to be. Just like James was bigger than I expected him to be. I'm glad we went with James. I would have loved to have gone with Suzu, too. There are a lot of other options in this game. This game is probably the biggest visual novel I have ever played. Like, if you go down other people's paths, it could take a while, too. But that was really cool and fun. And in the end, Fatty Vag found true love. And isn't that the important thing? I'm a man. Aren't we all just looking for a little bit of Fatty Vag in our life? They'll be like, Mommy Fatty Vag, Demon Daddy, when they have kids. Maybe that'll be the sequel. There is a sequel that's, I don't know if it's still on Kickstarter or not, but they are making a sequel. Yeah. I don't know if I want to play another one, though, because the story ended up on such a good note. Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching. That was Seduce Me, the love story between James the Demon and Fatty Vag. And Diana, if you're out there, I'm available. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in whatever I LP next.